Well, good afternoon. My name is John Adkins, and I'm here to talk a little bit about the Maths and Science Department at Windsor College. We offer a wide range of programs, as you can see, all the way from GCSEs to A Levels, and then we also offer an access to higher education in combined science that's typically geared towards students who are returning to education after a long break, typically students that have entered the workforce and decided to come back into education. And so my plan is to just sort of go through each of these and talk just a little bit about them. Hopefully I won't talk too much about them, and then leave some time for questions at the end. So if we start with A-level maths, it's designed for students who did really well at maths at GCSE level. We expect students to have at least a 6 in GCSE maths. And the main focus of that, as you can see, is pure maths, mechanics, and statistics. So pretty pure maths. We also offer further maths, and this is designed for students who are really, really good at maths. They need to have at least a 7 at GCSE maths. And this is a real focused look at pure maths and mechanics. Notice there's no statistics there. And a lot of Russell Group universities want students to have this to take maths courses at Russell Group University. If you want to do a degree in mathematics, you're probably going to want to have further maths to be able to do that. Next is computer science. And computer science is really, we've changed the focus of our computer science. It used to be more towards, well, really what's called in the field are system engineers or system designers, people that would look at at a business and what type of hardware and software they needed to operate that business. But we've gotten away from that completely and gone really much more to the software development side. It's really, I thought I'd turned off the automatic, sorry. It's really more geared, it's a problem solving course and geared towards actual programming, writing code. They use the programming language Python in this course, and students develop small programs as part of the coursework and as part of the learning process. As you learn how to build an algorithm or build a function to do specific things, sorting, those kinds of things, then it's implemented in Python and the students get a chance to actually build the program and do that hands-on. Then we move into the sciences and A-level biology, which happens to be my specialty. We're looking for students that have at least a 5 in GCSE biology and maths. I'm sure that by this point, everybody's aware of the big change in the specification that occurred about 4 or 5 years ago now, where the specifications were rewritten. And one of the mandates that came out of that was that 20% of the points available during exams basically comes from maths, and so maths has become a very big part of all of the A-level sciences. I usually joke about the fact that biologists always became biologists because they weren't really good at maths. Unfortunately, for some of us, it's not a place that we can hide anymore, that maths is just as big a part of the specification as, say, for chemistry. Maybe not as much as in physics, but certainly as much as you would encounter in chemistry. When I talk to students about A-level biology, it's basically an extension of GCSE. The topics, if you compared the tables of contents of a GCSE biology textbook and an A-level biology textbook, they would have exactly the same topics in them. The big difference is in the focus. In GCSE biology, you mainly learn about the what kinds of questions in biology, where in A-level biology, it's more the why and the how. Okay, so we look at processes and how things happen, how photosynthesis occurs, those kinds of things, as opposed to just sort of learning the names of photosynthesis and the parts of the plant that are responsible and those kinds of things. It moves sort of one level deeper, really, in understanding. Students that do biology, typically they're going to go on to study for the healthcare profession is probably one of the biggest areas that we service. We also have students who go on to study just pure science, to go and study, say, molecular biology or genetics at university. Another big cohort that we get are people who are interested in psychology and planning on doing psychology at university. A lot of our students are psychology biology students, and so those two courses go really well together. There's a little bit of overlap in the content, and they sort of buttress each other, if you will, in certain areas. Next is A-level chemistry, and again, the requirements for A-level chemistry is a 5 at GCSE chemistry and a 5 at maths. And again, the topics include periodic table, energy, organic chemistry, physical chemistry, the elements, transition elements, and some analytical chemistry. And again, those students that take A-level chemistry are typically interested in healthcare. It's a very important component in most healthcare degrees, or pharmacology, that side of the thing, that side of that area, healthcare, developing drugs and with all the new biotechnology and that's become, well, actually become quite famous in the past just sort of 12 months or so, the development of vaccines and all of that biotechnology. Chemists, the chemistry is a good place to a good sort of tool to have in your toolkit, if you will. Also, chemical engineering is another big area. Then A-level physics, and A-level physics, again, the sort of standard requirements. We'd like to have students to have a 5 at GCSE physics, it should say. I just see a typo in my own work, and mathematics again. And topics include forces in motion, quantum physics, waves, capacitors, circular motion, and simple harmonic motion. Oh, this thing's going to drive me crazy going ahead on me. Students go on to study physics or mainly engineering. We get a lot of students now, since we've changed the focus of our computer science. We get a lot of computer science students that take that sort of combo, maths, computer science, physics. That's a really good combo to work together because they all sort of build on each other and support each other. And so that's a possible sort of combination. Now we move on to the BTECs, and the BTECs are, again, they're a level 3 program. They are equivalent to A-levels. We offer the extended diploma, the National Extended Diploma at Windsor College. It's equivalent to 3 A-levels. It's a pass, merit, and distinction grading system rather than the letter grading system associated with A-levels. And we offer a BTech in applied science. And again, the big sort of draw there are people interested in healthcare professions. Medical lab technology seems to be sort of the in thing right now. The last couple of years, most of our students have applied to medical lab technology programs afterwards, work for the NHS. And so there was a change to the specification for the BTECs as well. When they rewrote the specifications for A levels, one of the things that they did with the BTech was to include externally marked exams. So students now do externally marked exams, 2 in the first year and 2 in the second year, but that's supplemented by coursework that's done in class and marked internally, but is externally verified. So every year we send off a sample of our students' work to an external verifier, who then looks at our work and looks at how we've marked our students' work and hopefully signs off that we've done it correctly. We also offer a BTech in health and social care. Again, this is, leaning more towards the healthcare profession. A lot of nursing students, women, people who want to move into nursing, midwifery, those kinds of things. Look at this. Now, this program is not the extended diploma. This is only a single A-level equivalent. It's over 2 years, and as you can see, it includes 1 exam and 1 piece of coursework per year. So it's sort of not quite half of the program that the National Extended Diploma is in the applied science. Then we'll move on and talk a little bit about GCSEs. We offer GCSE maths. I guess everyone's aware that the government mandates that anyone under 18 or under 19 actually, who doesn't have at least a 4 in GCSEs, maths and English, have to take GCSE maths. And so we offer a program in GCSE maths for those students who want to progress on to A levels or level 3 qualification, but don't have that 4 in GCSE maths. We use the AQA exam board, and it's basically the GCSE maths. So it covers numbers, algebra, geometry, ratios, statistics, all of those things that are covered in GCSE maths. It's just a second opportunity for our students to improve their grade and get that 4 that's required. The other big program that we have here is the Science Pathway. We run GCSE Science Pathway. It includes the 3 separate sciences. It's a full-time program. It includes the 3 separate sciences, math, or biology, chemistry, and physics. And then we add GCSE maths and GCSE English alongside those, so that students have 4 GCS or 5 GCSEs when they finish. It's a 1-year program. It's designed for students that have come to the UK without level 2 qualifications. It's not a reset program. We don't accept students that didn't do well at GCSEs at school for some reason. It is specifically designed for students that have immigrated to the UK and don't have level 2 qualifications, but want to progress on to level 3 qualification. So the reason that it's 5 GCSEs, because that's our minimum number of GCSEs to move into an A-level program. It's quite popular. It fills up just about every year. In fact, a couple of years we've had 2 sections of GCSE Science Pathway. Then the next course is the last one that I was talking about in the introduction, access to higher education in combined science. As I said then, this is a program that's designed mainly for people who've been out of education. Typically, the entry requirements are to be at least 19 years old, 19 plus. and like I said, the big thing for that are people that have been out of education for some time, have had a break in education, and typically they've gone out to get a job, and now realize that, look, education might be the best way for me to progress in my life, and want to return to education and move on to university to seek a degree at university. And so it's a level 3 qualification. It's equivalent to 3 A levels. It's done in 1 year. It's all coursework based. It's internally marked and externally verified. And the nice thing about this program is that it's quite flexible. When we got accredited with the exam board to provide this program, we got accredited for a wide range of units of topics. And so one of the nice things about this program is that we can sort of custom make the program based upon our enrollment. The first year we ran it, every student that we had was interested in progressing on to medical science, laboratory medical science. And so we designed the curriculum specifically for them, because most of the universities that they were looking at wanted them to have 15 credits in biology and 15 credits in chemistry, and then the other 15 could come from anywhere that they were available. And so we made our program very heavy in biology and chemistry. There are obviously some ancillary programs that go along with that, study skills and those kinds of I don't want to call them pastoral care, but those sort of holistic types of units that are about study skills and preparing for moving progression into university, those kinds of things. And so it's quite a flexible program that allows us to sort of develop a curriculum to meet the needs of the students that we enroll in that course. This is some of the destinations, some of the universities that our students go on to. You can see that, you know, there's some very nice places there. University of Bristol, Bath, Reading. Reading is a big draw because obviously it's local. We also have students at Portsmouth, Royal Holloway. One of our access students progressed to Royal Holloway, got a place at Royal Holloway year before last. And so, you know, we do pretty well in servicing our students and allowing them to progress on to good universities. Some of the courses I tried to mention as we came through sort of the presentation. Our students go on to study. A lot of our students are really interested in healthcare professions, and so we send a lot of students off to either. Last year we had our first student accepted into medical school for the first time in anybody's memory that's still working in the building, and so we're pretty proud of that. But a lot of students understand that, you know, that medical school is quite competitive, and so they look at sort of other options to get into the healthcare profession. Medical lab technology is very big, but we also have students that go off and study pure sciences, so go off and get a degree in biology or a degree in chemistry. It's even nice. I ran into a old student at the train station a month or so ago who is training to become a teacher, and so I thought that was kind of nice. So, any questions?
Thanks, John. That was really useful. It's good to get lots of detail about the different types of courses.
I can't figure out how to stop the automatic progression. I didn't know that that was on. I don't even,
Yeah, I
I've
need
never
to.
used it before, so I don't know how to turn it off.
Okay, we just have to. I think just leave it there now because that's the last one,
Yeah.
so that's fine. So what would you say is special about Windsor, particularly?
Uh, well, there are lots of things I think that are special about Windsor. Our location, for one, you can see the castle from the building and walk right by the castle or see the castle every day. We have a very diverse campus. There are lots of students from lots of different cultures here. And I think that's very nice. We run an open campus, so students are only expected to be here when they're expected to be in class. So you don't have to show up at 8 o'clock in the morning and stay until 4 or 4:30 in the afternoon. Um, we expect you to be here when you're supposed to be in class, but other than that, your time is your time, and we try to, try to treat students like adults. It's a nice sort of stepping stone, I think, from school to university. Gives you some you know some freedom, but along with freedom, I always try to explain, along with freedom comes responsibility as well. And so I think that's one of the nice things about it, is it's sort of a nice safe place to start to get a feeling for the freedom of being an adult, but yet still, people watching to make sure that everything goes the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, that's great, thank you. Somebody's just asked about how many A levels is further maths worth, and will
Uh,
it increase my chances of getting into a university?
well, it's just a normal A level, and really the place that it would be important is if you were planning on going to university and taking a degree in mathematics or mathematics related degree, say for instance engineering or something like that. It would probably be important, but um, you know, I've never seen it, in anything else where they said, oh, further maths get you an extra 10 points or something like that. So, but I'm sure there are degrees that, it's probably one of the ones that they want you to have. It's a requirement to have.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Mhm.
And what about the facilities at Windsor? Are they particularly around the science? Is there anything special
Well,
about them?
well, we have two wet labs. Basically, that's science talk for labs that have sinks in them that you can do chemistry and biology. We also have a dedicated physics lab. Um, and so we've got nice lab facilities. Um, the building is relatively new. It's about going on 10, 12 years old now. And it's been well maintained. That's one of the nice things about Windsor as well, is our students really seem to appreciate the facilities that we have here, and we don't have a lot of damage to the building. Everyone wants to take care of the building and keep it nice and looking nice. Um, the sciences are pretty separated up on the third floor. I always joke that they think they put us up there in case we blow something up, we can just blow the top off the building and not hurt anybody below us. But
That
usually
hasn't happened, has it?
no, that hasn't happened. But we've got very nice facilities. All of our sciences are taught by specialists. The the man that teaches chemistry has a PhD in chemistry. I've got a master's degree in biology. Our physics teacher has a master's degree in physics. And so our sciences are taught by specialists. Um, and so, I think all of those things are going for, are ticks for Windsor.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think that specialism is really relevant as well, not a generic science, but a
Absolutely.
real expertise. Um, Somebody's asking about how many hours a week will you study each subject?
Well, in the class, each A level, you will meet 3 times a week for an hour and a half. So that's what, do the maths real quick, 4.5 hours a week. in class. And so 3 A levels at 4.5 hours a week, that takes you to about 12 and a half hours, 13 hours. And then we expect, I mean, most places expect you to do probably at least that much outside of class. And so it's quite a plateful. But 12 hours, then an A-level program also comes with our core studies. You take a core studies course, which is our form of tutorial program. That meets once a week, so that would add another hour and a half to your timetable. So we're up to what, 15 and a half hours, something like that. See, I told you I was a biologist because maths wasn't my strong suit.
And then obviously outside of that, then you have your home study.
Yeah, outside of that, like I said, most places expect you to do equal to that outside of class. I've even had teachers tell me when I was a student that you should be probably doing twice that much outside of class.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, you're going to be busy.
And in terms of the interviews, what are you looking for when you invite people into interview?
Well, I mean, we're looking for students that are, enthusiastic and eager to learn, ready to progress in their education and come prepared to learn every day and willing to do the work that's required to do well. Those are the big things for me. That's what I'm looking for when I interview.
Yeah. And how are you doing the interviews now with the COVID restrictions?
They're all done by telephone. We've been doing them that way since last year. They are scheduled on a Wednesday afternoon. Students receive an email from admissions that give them a day and a time that the interview will happen. And then I receive a list of students for my interviews, and I call them on the phone and talk to them on the phone and fill in an electronic form while I'm talking to them on the phone, and progress their application that way.
Great, thank you. And is there a closing date for applications? I don't think we have a set one.
I don't think there is. I mean, at some point when enrollment starts, we still are accepting applications when enrollment happens, but it's still going to have to go through that process that the application is submitted, and admissions will then give them a time to come in, and it's sort of a compressed process. You'll do an interview and then usually progress directly on into enrollment if suitable.
Yeah, great. Okay. Well, just last shout out to the delegates today. If anybody has any final questions for John, otherwise just pop them in the chat or the Q&A box. Otherwise, we will start to wrap this session up. Thanks very much, John. On the website, there's lots of information for prospective students, including the course guide. We've also got some resources for year 11. So if you're still in school and you're thinking about some of these subjects, you can jump onto our resource section and maybe have a look at some of the tasks and activities that the staff have posted, and give you a bit more of a flavour. And I'll pop a link to that in the chat box now. Looks like there's no more questions, John. So I don't know if you wanted to wrap up.
Well, I'd just like to encourage everybody to fill out an application. If you're interested in studying maths and science at Windsor College, the next big step is to fill in that application and get an appointment for an interview. And then the next big thing will be to achieve the grades required to get in, and enrollment in August.
That's right. Thank you very much. The website's going a bit slow today, so I'm not able to find that link, but go onto the website and into the help and advice, and there's a drop down called Year 11 resources. Click onto there and it will take you through to all the relevant subject areas. But we'll pop a link in that into a follow-up email to everybody that joined us today. Thanks, John. That was really helpful. We have also recorded this session, so we will also be sending that out to you if you wanted to revisit any of it and maybe share with parents or carers, and we'll post it on our website. So you're immortalised.
Oh, lovely. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.